All right.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Stairway to 7, episode 7.
Stairway to 7.
Stairway to 7. Stairway to Cinema, episode 7. The King, with my good boy, good buddy,
Boy.
Amin Starik here. Yeah, here we are, episode 7.
Actually, I got some news today.
Hmm.
Did we talk about that on Discord? The digital James Dean thing.
Yes.
That is, I don't know. I'm not feeling good about that.
It seems to have stirred up some controversy. I didn't even click the link. I didn't look into it. I saw it was trending on Twitter, so I kind of just stayed away from it until I kind of want to wait until things are in production, because I just don't want to fall into the this is getting made and it doesn't get made shit. You know, I wait until let me see some stills or something first.
It is way too early to tell.
Because that's a controversial thing. How do you feel about that, honestly?
I mean, of course, I'd be happy to see James Dean in the movie again, but it's not him, so it's difficult. Don't know what to think.
I kind of point back to, Rogue One jumps out at me as the movie that's really kind of, paved the way for this shit because of the Grand Moff Tarkin character. And I loved it so much that, I don't know, I feel like I'm up for it as long as it's done tastefully and done right. You know, because there's so much you could fucking do by bringing all these old actors to life and combining them with current actors or making dream teams of certain movies. I mean, it's heavily CGI, but the CGI is getting a little better.
Right. It should be interesting to see who else is in the movie alongside James Dean, just imagine someone like, I don't know, Matt Damon, somebody alongside James Dean in the movie. That would be interesting.
Because this, I think what this is going to come down to is the rights of the character itself, which I think will fall into probably a lot of the estates of the children. So I think that some children will say, yes, go ahead, because I'll make more money that way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of children will say no. But I think that's something to look out for, man. That's going to be the first real deal thing. If it actually happens, I'll watch it. Just depends on what kind of movie it is.
Yeah, I heard it's a Vietnam drama.
Ooh. God, that's going to be strange. It's going to be strange.
Some minor news. I read that Christian Bale is stopping with huge weight changes,
Oh, finally. He doesn't want to die anymore.
Probably he's getting kind of old, I think he's 45, and it's probably good to stop with that bullshit. Even though, of course, benefits, the movie benefits. But okay.
This is actually why I always thought I'd be a good actor, because I fluctuate so much. I can fluctuate easily. I got great metabolism, so I get that with Bale. But he goes way too much, especially if you go back to Machinist to Batman Begins. It's insane. It's fucking insane.
From Vice to Ford v Ferrari.
Right. Vice.
Actually, I saw, I think it was the first time that I saw the Doctor Sleep trailer, the second one, and I thought it looked kind of good, actually.
With Rebecca Ferguson in the trailer, right? Yeah.
Also, it got a very good rating on IMDb at this point. I think 7.7 or something.
Which is higher than The King.
That is. We'll get into that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Same.
Interesting.
Same. Yeah.
I think it flops though. It's not very successful right now.
Right. Also in the news today, Disney Plus is launched in the States.
I know. Have you started with The Mandalorian?
Oh yeah.
Oh, how is it?
I watched it right away. For one, Disney Plus, the first day was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. They were not prepared.
Yeah, everybody's crazy for it, right?
Yeah. I have to admit, it's pretty impressive when you start to break down and really dive into the collections. If you're a Disney person, I don't consider myself a Disney person, but I grew up on a lot of that shit, So a lot of it just jumps out at you right away. You're like, oh my God. They have the entire MCU catalog in there except for the Spider-Man movies. All of the old fucking Disney classics, all the animated classics are in there, including the shorts, Pixar. But dude, The Mandalorian. Whew. If anyone's afraid of the new direction that Disney's going with Star Wars, then you got to watch The Mandalorian, because that that reassures you that there's still good shit in this universe. Like, straight up. We were talking about space westerns, I think, like last week or 2 weeks ago. And that really does feel like a space western. And Pedro Pascal, just, you don't see his face, no spoilers or anything like that, but just the voice through the breather, and you're like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. And Warner Hershog, just saying, that was a cool casting there. I don't know how
weird
that happened.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Strange, out of place a little bit, but just fits for the the part that he has there.
Taika Waititi is that robot, right?
Yes.
How's that? Is it funny?
There's humor in it, but it's not. It's more of the darker tone, I feel like, of Rogue One a little bit.
That's good because I like Rogue One.
I mean, it's written by Jon Favreau, and who seems to be.
Oh, really?
He seems to be like, one of the big new Disney darlings, these days. Totally. For especially what he did. He's the one that brought in Iron Man and all that. So you definitely can expect some humor, but it's done good. It's not, doesn't feel so forced, like childish. There's a little childish to it, but the tone of the show is much more darker than that. It's a show made for people, I think, that like Star Wars, straight up. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think I'll still have to wait for at least 2 months, but that's fine.
Like 8 months or some shit.
Yeah, right.
There's no Disney coming to Germany.
Okay, I think this is a topic every week here. Cast for the Batman.
Yes. What did I hear? What did I? Yes. As Alfred. Oh my God. Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I forgot to share that with you because I saw that and I was like, ooh, news. That's a great casting right there. It's a good cast all together that's coming together.
Yeah, but you know what's kind of weird? Colin Farrell as the Penguin?
Yeah.
That's a weird choice, honestly.
I agree.
He doesn't have the right physicality, I think.
Well, I don't know if they're going with fat Penguin,
I don't have to. But also he's like, I mean, Colin Farrell is not tall, but I think he's too tall for the Penguin.
Well, the show that I don't like, Gotham, did actually pave the way for the slimmer Penguin, I guess. I mean, this could be like before he slips into madness, but still, I agree with you. It's an odd choice. I mean,
don't get me wrong, I love Farrell, but
exactly. It's more of a fan perspective for me because I know he's terrible in some things, but I know he's also fucking.
He's gotten way better.
He's his second act here, and I feel like since In Bruges, he's really knocking down the door. And I keep telling you, man, that True Detective season 2, it's really the only reason to watch it is Farrell's character.
Speaking of Farrell, have you seen the trailer for the new Guy Ritchie movie?
I have not.
The Gentleman. It looks like Kingsman in more grounded, with Charlie Hunnam, Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Grant, and Colin Farrell. It looks very, very good, but I was surprised that I didn't see that trailer because it's been out for a month and I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I saw this. I mean, because on my YouTube, I have, a couple trailer places that I follow. So I saw it pop up. I saw Matthew McConaughey's face in the thumbnail, but I had no idea it was a Guy Ritchie movie.
I mean, he's going back to his roots with British gangster shit.
Is that what it is? Is Matthew McConaughey playing a Brit?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, please.
I think Charlie Hunnam is the lead, I believe.
Wouldn't you love just to see him try to pull off just a different sound in his voice? Because I don't think he can.
No, he sounds like usual in the trailer. So, all right, that's all the news I have. I think the Batman casting is very interesting.
Yes.
Maybe there's even more to come, but
well, I will say that Mr. Robert Pattinson, together with this movie, The King, and the movie that I don't think either one of us has seen, The Lighthouse, yet.
Sadly not.
Seems to be a good jumping off point to jump into the Batman and bury the Twilight years for him.
Dude, like the thing with Pattinson, I slowly became a big fan. I don't know how that happened, but he's fantastic, I think.
I just feel like he'll, it's not so much the Bruce Wayne aspect because there is two sides to Batman, Bruce Wayne,
of course,
and Batman. I feel like the Batman part, just his face, will mold to that cowl so well that it's hard to deny that he's gonna. And he's got he's tall, you know. I feel like he's gonna be solid for the Batman. I hope that he can bring it for the Bruce Wayne aspect. Because I really liked Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne. I did. Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, no, not so much. It was just a sad dude.
Yeah. Like,
he had a couple moments, I guess, in BVS, but not as much. I mean, honestly, dude, I'm not to cut you off, but Michael Keaton to me is a great Bruce Wayne as well. So
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the old ones, and I think that the Ben Affleck Batman will eventually kind of be forgotten.
I agree. Only the people like myself who really were all in on that Zack Snyder universe and are still demanding the Zack Snyder cut from Justice League. It's never going to be released, but hopefully one day it will, you know.
Yeah.
That brutal, dark universe. Oh, other news, just real quick. Okay. It did happen. It was announced. The Joker, the movie, the film that we've discussed so much on this podcast.
True.
Is the most profitable comic book movie of all time. So, there you go. Wait. Rated R, mental illness.
You mean like in relation to budget?
In relation to budget, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I think it's over $1 billion.
Yep. And it only costs, I believe, $60 million or so to make, or something like that. It wasn't.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot of money to make.
And that should tell DC to keep going with that stuff.
I saw a clickbait article earlier today where it was Todd Phillips will make Joker 2 on this condition. I didn't click that shit, but
it's probably not like what the title says.
Obviously, that's what they're talking. They are. I mean, you have to believe that Warner Brothers is. We gotta make 5 of these. You know, I mean, you know how they are at Warner Brothers.
But I think that's creatively speaking, a bad idea.
Yeah, I think what they should do is they could keep that universe that they built. Like there's a good Gotham jumping off point. Like I love the early '80s feel of that Gotham.
Yes.
So
you don't even need Batman. I think like even that Joker isn't really an antagonist for Batman. Doesn't really fit.
Honestly, look, that Joker to me is what Gotham could have been. The show, like that was the whole idea of Gotham, was the rise of all these villains without Batman there, and the writers were just terrible. It was one of them. It was a terrible show.
I never watched it, but it always seemed kind of childish.
I mean, look, if you want to watch just a show to pass the time and just. Like it's so stupid that it is enjoyable in a way. Sometimes it's hard to say, but there is part because you just get excited over reveals, stupid shit like that. The fan service, I guess, was fun, but overall bad, just bad.
I don't think there's even a single actor in that show that I find interesting. So people
swear by the Cameron Monaghan Joker in that, and
for me that looks like total shit.
Yeah, it was, and it was bad. It was over the top, completely
super edgy.
Over the top. Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to the stuff we watched? You said you didn't watch anything besides The King.
Well, I watched a couple shows. I started the show The Last Man on Earth, which I've seen the pilot before a long time ago. I really like that show. It's a comedy. It's stupid, but
that's good.
Yeah, he's the last man on Earth, and he's just a dick, and he just does whatever he wants. He steals everything, and then he meets a woman, and she's kind of ugly, so he marries her, and then a hot girl shows up. So you can see the hijinks that ensue with a show like this. It's stupid, but the concept is good, and it's just fun. It's a well done show, The Last Man on Earth. And then, of course, The Mandalorian. Sounds like a good
premise for comedy. So.
Yeah. A shit ton of YouTube, of course. I always watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, the Mandalorian would probably be the big highlight of the... Because I haven't even caught up on the last 2 episodes of Watchmen either, which I need to... I might just wait until it's over and then just watch them all. So
yeah. Since I was kind of, not able to do shit for like 2 days, I watched 2.5 seasons of BoJack Horseman. My brother always recommended me that show, and I started, and it's pretty decent. I like it. But
I like the guy that's running that. The fuck is
Will
his
Arnett.
name? Will Arnett. Thank you.
I actually really like Aaron Paul in that one.
I didn't realize he was in it.
He voices BoJack's best friend. It's like not really a funny, super hilarious show, but it's really entertaining and kind of deep at points. So it's good, but I'm not sure if I want to finish it now.
You're not all in on BoJack just yet.
Yeah, I'm not a huge cartoon guy, you know.
Me
For
neither.
me, there's always The Simpsons, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. I like Family Guy, South Park. Archer is fantastic. Archer's probably one of the better animated shows out there. But yeah, I'm with you. It takes a lot for me to sit down and actually go all cartoon.
Yeah, but it's something you can watch on the side when I'm doing art or something, you know.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah. So, would you recommend BoJack?
Yeah, totally. It has lots of movie references and like cameos by people like Naomi Watts and Daniel Radcliffe and stuff. It's fun. It's very fun.
Can you just tell me why he has a horse head? Like, what's the deal with the horse?
It's basically just a world where animal human hybrids exist. Like it's never talked about. It's just, you know, horse people, dog people, every animal people exist.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Okay. Right. What else? What else you got?
I watched The Departed.
Again.
I mean, again, like the last time was like 5 years ago.
Did you notice all the X's?
The what?
All the X's in the movie.
I didn't.
Oh man, the whole movie has X's all over it, and it like foreshadows when someone's gonna die. Kind of.
Actually, brilliant. I didn't remember the plot correctly. I thought the big Leonardo DiCaprio moment was in the middle of the film, but it's right at the end.
Yeah. It's towards the end.
I always remembered the way that it's just like, you know, randomly in the middle, and the whole thing with Matt Damon and Jack Nicholson happens after that. But it's not like that. Yeah.
No, I mean it was well done. Like it was just the fact that it's such a shocking moment that I think struck a chord with everybody. But it is like, it's not the final moment, but it's close to it. You know, it's like
the final moment is fantastic too.
Yes.
And Mark Wahlberg got Oscar nominated for that movie, and I find that a little bit strange because it's not really like a huge performance.
An Oscar movie, even though it's probably my favorite performance by Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
In terms of just role, you know, and I love Alec Baldwin in that movie too. I fucking love Alec Baldwin in that movie. One of the best Alec Baldwin ever fucking roles right there. It's not a big part, but he's so amped up when he gets mad at the guy and he's like, "You fucked this up," and he just starts hitting him. Oh, I love that. I love a guy on the edge in movies. I love it.
A very good movie. But for me, it's not a 10 out of 10. For me, it's a 9. You know.
A 9. Yeah, it's like I said. The problem with The Departed for me is the glaring love interest issue. Yeah, even though I like her, you didn't need that in that movie to have such a good movie.
But I don't think it's that bad. Like for me, it doesn't ruin the movie at all.
No, that's why I agree with you on the 9. Yeah, completely. Yeah.
I rewatched another movie, and I had 2 friends over, and I just showed them Bone Tomahawk. Actually, they thought it was great. But you know, I didn't look at the screen at the cave scene. I just thought, dude, I don't have to see this like again. You know, I saw it once, the worst scene of all time, and no.
As anybody who's listened to us do this podcast, 7 episodes in, they know that we are huge fans of Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen Bone Tomahawk,
great Western,
please check out Bone Tomahawk. To me, it's like one of the best Kurt Russell roles he's ever had.
The best Matthew Fox role ever.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Party of Five and Lost Matthew Fox, then check him out. And also the Patrick Wilson, your boy.
Yes.
Your boy.
He's actually like the protagonist, and he's pretty good.
He is. When you break down, yeah.
He's such a gentleman, but a huge jerk, and I love it. He's so fun to watch.
And the director of that film, S. Craig Zahler, I would definitely put him on my list of directors to watch because of the 3 films that I've seen are just, they're good. They're all good in their own way. So.
Yeah, if you're into violent movies, that's the director to go.
Not politically correct movies too, which I really, really love when directors are not politically correct.
Right.
It's a good thing.
I still have to see Dragged Across Concrete.
Oh, my buddy Mel. And such a good Vince Vaughn role too. Just, I'm gonna watch that again. Actually, I'll be watching that again soon. So,
all right, movies like okay, is it 20 more to go?
20 movies? Okay,
yes,
yeah.
I had a look. Movies I haven't seen before. I saw We're the Millers with Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston. It's whatever. It's kind of whatever. So
I love Jason Sudeikis.
He's
Sudeikis.
good.
Yeah.
But the movie's like not much like worth talking about. I saw The Machinist with Christian Bale.
Ooh, it's funny. I just mentioned that too. What did you think of The Machinist?
It's very depressing. And,
yeah.
Like, you know, the twist, I figured it out pretty quickly. Because it's like a usual twist. You know, speaking of Beautiful Mind and stuff. But the movie is like, as a thriller, it's pretty good.
I saw it when it first came out, so I don't really remember too much of it, honestly. But I remember thinking it was good, but not great. If I remember.
For me, it's the stakes. You know, I wouldn't watch it again probably.
Yeah.
Another movie that I didn't find that fantastic was Blow with Johnny Depp.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, it was kind of alright, but
that's actually on my list of like Johnny Depp movies that are good.
Yeah, of course, it's not a bad movie, but I felt
because it doesn't feel like a Johnny Depp movie. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Yeah,
he's like a very normal guy, even though he's getting kind of mad in the end.
The hair, the hair.
Yeah. I just think the movie it just felt like I have seen most of the parts before. Like, you know, it's just kind of conventional. But yeah, it was alright.
Did it touch you, the heartbreaking ending at the end, or did you not even care?
I didn't care. I liked Escobar's appearance, but yeah.
Who played Escobar in that again?
Cliff Curtis.
Cliff Curtis.
He's one of those actors who's like in a lot of movies, but you know his face, but he's not huge on big roles.
What else? What else you watch?
Death at a Funeral.
The
British movie with Peter Dinklage and Alan Tudyk.
It is a British movie?
Yeah. It's a nice little dark comedy, but nothing big.
Oh, Cliff Curtis. Okay. Sorry,
yeah,
I was going back while you were setting up the next movie there. I had to look at his face. Yeah, that guy's in like so many movies. Like
he is.
He really.
I like him, but he's like not. He is not like, you know. I wouldn't say he's a great actor or anything.
You know what I feel like he is? I feel like he's just a good background actor, but they always push him too much in the forefront type of thing, and it's like I feel like I get too much of him. Like that's the thing with Cliff Curtis. That does not look like that's his name, but I'm just throwing that out there.
I watched a true classic for the first
time. What'd you
watch? Predator.
Ooh, the OG.
Yeah, the OG Predator. And it's like, you know,
I ain't got time to bleed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I ain't got time to bleed.
Tone-wise, and just everything, it's kind of similar to stuff like Commando and you know, all the Arnie movies. I liked it, but it's very stupid. But you know, it's deliberately stupid, and I appreciate that.
It's a testosterone fest. That movie, like it's one of the biggest testosterone fests too, man.
Like just that shot with Carl Weathers and Arnie and their arms, you know, in the beginning, it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah. Speaking of Carl Weathers too, the Mandalorian, he's in that, which I really like. I just like seeing Carl Weathers again.
True. I was in the theater to watch a very much atrocious movie, even though it has Patrick Wilson. Midway.
Oh, you went and saw Midway.
Dude, that movie is just one of the worst war movies I've seen in a long time.
What would you rate Midway then?
3.
What? I don't even think I've ever heard you rate a movie that low. Actually, usually you're kind of giving on you. Usually there's some takeaways for you or something, but this, you didn't like this at all.
I mean, when you sit in the theater and you just think, dude, I want to leave, kind of, you know, and you're. This movie is boring. It is super filled with pathos and just corny bullshit.
Is it
Like
too
every
red,
line
white, and is it too red, white, and blue for you? Is it too?
Not really. It's
Okay.
not like very much patriotic, but it's more that every line in the movie is kind of pretending to be super meaningful and epic, and it's just corny as fuck. And then I mean, I was pleased to see Aaron Eckhart in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in a lot of movies, but he has a small role, so it doesn't really matter. And it's not, a quality of the film to have an actor in it.
Right.
Right. The whole movie looks artificial. It all looks fake.
Mm-hmm.
Every outdoor shot looks like pure CGI cotton candy.
That is what I took from the trailer, and that's why I was kind of hesitant to see it.
Like, the action is like, there's lots of action and explosions and stuff, but it all looks super bad.
Ed Skrein, the top billing
he
here
is
too.
He's kind of the protagonist, actually. And
he's been good in the things I've seen him in. Was he good at all, or was it just terrible?
His role is super stupid because it's just the one man hero chewing gum in his airplane shooting Japanese people.
I wish I would have seen this too. We could have done a midway show on this, man. Because now
don't waste your money on that in the theater, honestly.
Yeah, I'll see it like later on in a couple months, I'm sure.
And then the cast is super good. You have Luke Evans, Woody Harrelson. Yeah, you've got Aaron Eckhart and Patrick Wilson. Like, yeah.
What about up and comer Nick Jonas? Nick Jonas, up and comer. Was he good?
He was okay, but he has a death moment in that movie that's just so over the top bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not much good stuff to say for me about Midway. At least they portray the Japanese kind of human, you know? It's not like they hate on the Japanese.
To me, one of the worst war movies I ever saw was We Were Soldiers, the Mel Gibson. You saw that as well?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude, I've watched that like 3 times because there's something in the back of my mind that like, well, maybe
the action is not bad. Maybe
there's just something I'm missing here. And then I watch it again. I'm like, Jesus, this is so fucking stupid. That's a tough one. That was a tough loss for me. You know, when you put Mel Gibson in a Vietnam movie and you just
Was it Vietnam or Korea?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might have been Korea, actually. Yeah.
Okay. What I want to speak about good movies. I watched The Mule by Clint Eastwood.
Ooh.
And I really liked it.
God, it seems like so long when I saw that in the theater because I saw that months ago, I feel like.
Yeah, that's 2018. I think it came out like beginning of the year or something.
Like I remember leaving the theater thinking I wasn't completely blown away because I was kind of hyped. I think the hype kind of got to me there but I tell you, man, like there was a sadness walking out of the theater there because I feel like that was his last go. It just felt like his last go. Yeah. But I mean, that being that old though, and he being able to act, I thought it was one of his better performances.
It was like he wasn't just the grumpy old man. He was actually funny.
Yes.
And
yes.
He felt like he was having fun. And I mean, everybody else, Bradley Cooper, Andy Garcia, and like Lawrence Fishburne, everybody, they are not like, appearing that much in the film.
They're just there to be casted, I think. Yeah.
I mean, Andy Garcia has like 2 scenes and then he dies, I think. So
I'm not a big fan of Andy Garcia. So yeah. I feel like Andy Garcia always tries to be way too cool than he really is.
Like Vin Diesel.
Wait, yes. Vin Diesel is the new Andy Garcia. Thank you. That is perfect.
Dude, I think Garcia is very cool in The Untouchables.
Okay, yeah, younger. I'm talking about how he just grew into this, especially in the Ocean's movies. I think he just irritates me so much in the Ocean's movies. I can't stand him in the Ocean's movies.
Okay. An even better movie with an amazing performance, The Fighter.
Oh, yes.
Finally watched it, and honestly, yeah, it probably is Bale's best performance, or it's one of his best, for sure.
One of them, yeah, for sure.
Dude, I told you we were gonna rate actors.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Bale is a straight 10 out of 10 for me in any way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dude,
for
that
the
is
range that he has, yeah.
yeah, totally. He can do anything. I actually watched another movie with him, but later. The Fighter is even Mark Wahlberg is good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like overshadowed, of course, by Bale, but
And Amy
he's fine.
Adams, in my opinion. I thought Amy Adams was great in that.
Yeah, she was. Like Mark Wahlberg is probably the weakest one, but he's still
Mm-hmm.
not bad.
Always
It's one of
is.
the best performances. Yeah, okay. To
Now,
be fair.
do you? I mean, if you ever get a chance too, since you are a YouTube guy, you should look. I don't know if you did look up the real guy, but if you look up the real guy that Christian Bale played, because he is in that documentary that they are shooting. That was a real thing. So that documentary does exist, and you get to see the real guy, and then it really brings to life how good Christian Bale was, because that was a fucking stellar performance by Bale right there.
Yeah, right from
Stellar.
the first second when he's like shaking and stuff. It's crazy. Crazy performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's another one where he just lost dramatic amounts of weight, man.
Yes.
It's scary, gaunt looking in that movie.
Yeah. Okay, I watched some bullshit German movie. Talk about. I watched a Netflix movie with an actor I actually grew to like very much. 1922 with Thomas Jane.
Now, see, I have not watched this yet. How was
Written
this?
by Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie is like it's a 5 out of 10 for me, but it's not boring. It's just kind of unspectacular because the plot is not big. There's not much happening, but it's kind of interesting. I feel like this was probably a short story by King because it's like
yeah.
The whole message it's kind of you get it. It's not much going on, but it's like his performance I liked. He has a very strong accent, which I don't know like from which region, but
over the Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
Usually, Stephen King bases a lot of his works in New England, where he's from.
I think this is like in the south somewhere.
So he must have took a drive down south one day and whipped up 1922.
Maybe I can. No, it doesn't say. Yeah, it's like I could recommend that movie. It's not very long, so you won't like waste any time.
Thomas Jane, I got to say, hit or miss for me. Just like I like Thomas Jane. I'm not going to say that I don't, but in terms of his acting, there's something about him that, like, even the ending of The Mist, like when he's all sad and shit. Oh, okay, all right, shutting up.
I know
right
the ending.
now.
So
oh, away. You do? Okay.
Well,
in that ending scene, then when he's emotional, just watch it and let me know what you think, because there's a moment that kind of takes me out a little bit, but the message, I mean, the movie, the ending is fucking great, but his little emotions are not
convincing.
Great. Yes, not convincing. Thank you. Great word.
Okay.
Fantastic movie though, The Mist. Fantastic.
That's Stephen King as well, right?
Yeah. The man just shits stories.
That's true. Yeah. Before we get to another movie with Thomas Jane, I watched Zombieland 2 in the theater. Double tap.
Now you've seen the first one, I assume.
The first one, I think I wasn't really a big fan of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of alright, but I had very low expectations for the second one because I thought the trailer looked horrible and totally unfunny. I was pleasantly surprised. The movie
even with Jesse Eisenberg, you were.
Yeah, for me, the reason this movie works is Woody Harrelson. He's just the man,
Yeah.
The movie is actually like I mean, as bad as the trailer is, but I gotta give them credit that they didn't waste the best jokes for the trailer because actually I hated the trailer. I didn't think it was funny at all, but the movie itself has some really good moments. So. Yeah.
The thing that's interesting about if you compare the trailers, because I haven't seen the second one, I haven't seen it yet. It's another. I'm gonna wait for that shit. I get what you.
Yes, it's not like, dude. The effects are so awful. It's not worth watching in the cinema.
I mean, you're in a position where you have to find a movie to watch with your cinema pass. So,
dude, we'll get to that in a minute.
But like if I go back and vision the trailer of the first one, Jesse Eisenberg is like in the forefront, whereas the trailer for this one, Woody Harrelson was in the forefront. So I think that was a good call. But overall, what did you think of Double Tap?
It's it's entertaining while it lasts. You know, it's not a movie you think about or nothing spectacular, but solid entertainment.
I think it plays to a certain crowd though. Like there's a crowd out there that just eats and consumes everything that's zombie out there. So
I'm not a zombie guy at all.
Me neither. Yeah.
I'm surprised that the movie has a 7.2 on IMDb because I think that's way too high. Like quality wise, the CGI is awful, and especially the green screen. Like the backgrounds look so artificial. Same problem with Midway, you know. Dude, honestly, Zombieland 2 feels like a direct-to-DVD movie, look-wise.
Streaming them?
Yeah, or something like that. It's not a movie that is made for the cinema because it just doesn't look good. And yeah, it's kind of sad. The action isn't very that great, but some jokes and some moments. It's basically like even the plot, but there is no real plot. It's just about funny situations.
Right.
And it's kind of alright.
I have a few friends that just love that shit. So, and they even posted on Facebook how much they love the second one. So, like I said, it just plays to a certain crowd, I feel like, and that crowd is not really you and I. I would rather have another Shaun of the Dead, honestly, if I'm gonna, rather than another zombie.
Yeah, that's a way better movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even than the first Zombieland. But I need movies that are kind of more meaningful. And speaking of that, not the best movie I watched the last weeks, but the second best. I think in each show, like we have always some names we always mention, and one of them is Paul Thomas Anderson, and I watched Boogie Nights. And Boogie Nights is fantastic, dude.
You finally watched it.
Yes, and dude, for if I didn't know, I would probably say it's a Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that was like one of the, one of the big things with back then was the emulation of Tarantino, and I always felt like Thomas Anderson kind of fell into that, even if he wasn't trying to be a Tarantino. But you definitely feel the Tarantino feel in his movies at times, especially in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, but it for me it doesn't feel like a copy. It feels more like
his own thing.
I guess shared inspirations a bit.
Yeah.
The thing is, both write amazing dialogue and amazing characters, and Anderson's music choice I like as well, but it's not as strong as Tarantino's.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
And also, Tarantino is more cartoonish in a way. It's more over the top. Boogie Nights is way more grounded than Reservoir Dogs, I feel like. Because it doesn't have that much violence.
Anderson is much more serious in his movies.
Yeah, really. But even though Boogie Nights has hilarious moments, especially when Julianne Moore is deliberately acting badly and stuff. The porn clips they shoot, that's hilarious.
There's a lot of great performances in that movie too.
Really, Burt Reynolds, of course.
Yeah, that Burt Reynolds role was shockingly good. I remember the hype because everyone was talking about, oh shit, Burt Reynolds is back, and I'm like, who gives a shit? Burt Reynolds was never that good. Like, what the fuck? And then you see his performance, and you're like, that is the movie, and that is the movie that I point to with Burt Reynolds. Like, that is his best fucking role. Period.
Not Smokey and the Bandit.
Nah. I mean, he was.
I actually like that one.
So do I. He's a fun actor, but I even like him in I love The Longest Yard, the original. I don't know if you've ever seen the original, but
no. I haven't seen anything with Burt Reynolds besides those two I just mentioned.
Like the original Longest Yard is more of a prison movie than a football movie. It's a great movie. It's probably dated now. Like, I remember when I found out they were remaking The Longest Yard, and then I found out it was Adam Sandler. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. That is not what you want to do. Like, give me an S. Craig Zahler version of fucking The Longest Yard. That's what much more serious movie. But anyway, Boogie Nights. Even a good Mark Wahlberg performance, though.
Yes, but that was before he got shitty, Yeah.
And it was a prosthetic at the end, just so you know. That was
probably.
That was not his penis, just to let you know. That he's not packing that kind of heat.
I really like Don Cheadle as well. He was
yes. Yeah.
He has hilarious moments because he never dresses right. And William H. Macy again, not much in the movie, but he's great. Same
Yeah.
with Philip Seymour Hoffman. But John C. Reilly is really cool.
Yeah,
And dude,
he has a way with John C. Reilly.
there is a scene at the end with Alfred Molina. Dude, Thomas Jane in that scene where they try to sell drugs, it's amazing.
The whole entire drug scene, right? Where
Yeah,
they're waiting
that's
for
so
the
Tarantino.
yes, yeah, that was fucking tense. Dude, I saw that in the
It
theater,
was.
and
I stood up because I couldn't handle it, dude. Like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, great movie overall.
What would you rate? What would you rate that?
8 out of 10.
8. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good rating for Boogie Nights.
Yeah, I don't give 8s that often.
The scenes that jump out to me are the big scenes with Julianne Moore. I love Julianne Moore in this movie.
Yeah, she's fun.
The scene where her and Heather Graham are just doing coke over and over and over, and they're just like, "Can I call you my mom? Will you be my mom?"
Right.
I love that scene. I love the scene when Mark Wahlberg and Julianne Moore are doing it for the first time in the shot. I like that.
That's what
scene.
I'm saying. They're both acting very badly in that, and it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great fucking movie.
It is. Yeah.
Heisen gives it a 6. All
Wow.
right.
It's probably even my favorite Anderson movie. Even though I like There Will Be Blood and Magnolia.
I'd have to go There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I actually want to rewatch that because
still need to see The Master then as well. Right?
Yeah, and Hard 8.
Hard 8.
Punch Drunk Love.
Yes, I'm really anxious to see what you think about Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, maybe next week, because I actually bought Boogie Nights. Because on one evening I was so in the mood and I thought just like fuck it, I'm just gonna buy this shit and watch it.
I still own the special edition DVD of fucking Boogie Nights.
Yeah, I watched another good movie. It's a classic. The first movie by George Lucas, American Graffiti.
Oh god, I thought you were gonna say THX 118. I forgot about
What?
the THX 1138. I think what it's called. It's a Robert Duvall movie. Really arty movie. Very artsy.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, just check out some stills. I bet you'll watch it when you see the stills. You're like, ooh, this looks pretty cool. It's very slow. Very slow. What'd you think though of American fucking Graffiti?
At first, I thought, this is kind of weird. I was not very much into it. But once you know all the characters, it's very fun.
Yeah,
I liked it, and it has the same vibes as Rebel Without a Cause. And
got a little Harrison Ford in there. Just a little scene in there with him.
Wasn't that his first role? I think it was.
I think it was, yeah. And I know Apocalypse Now was an early role. And then you got Han Solo, and yeah.
Yeah, good movie.
That's Ron Howard starring, right? Isn't it starring
Yes.
Ron Howard? Yeah, that's right. Right. That's one of my grandma's favorites, though. American
I can
Graffiti.
see that. Actually, I watched it because my dad said it was good, and yeah,
it's all right.
liked it a lot.
Definitely different from the normal George Lucas shit you've seen, though. Totally different.
But what did he do besides Star Wars?
THX 1138. But he wrote. Right. He wrote Indiana Jones. And he wrote Willow. So.
Okay.
Willow
is the Ron Howard movie, right?
Have you seen Willow?
No, I have not.
Okay, you got to put that on your list.
It is on my list, but
especially since you like Val Kilmer, that is one of the. I mean, look, you got Doc Holliday, and then you got Mad Mardigan. Mad Mardigan, dude. When I was a little kid, I was like 6 years old or some shit. There's nobody you wanted to be more than Mad Mardigan at that time when it came out.
Yeah, Val Kilmer is great. I always have to always crack up when I see the clips from True Romance where he's Elvis. I love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a Western,
Ooh.
a very recent Western, The Sisters Brothers.
Oh, okay. Now what? Lay it on me. I haven't seen this yet.
That movie has heart. It's very good. I like it.
Really? Heart.
It's not action packed, but when there are shootouts, they look really good. It has amazing landscape shots, and you just got 4 tremendous actors.
Is it considered a comedy?
Kinda, but I wouldn't say that. It has some comedic moments, but overall, it's more I think it ends very sad.
More of a drama then?
Yeah.
Dramedy?
And it's actually the plot is not going as you would expect, which I liked. Jake Gyllenhaal is very good in it. Joaquin Phoenix, John C. Reilly, Riz Ahmed, four guys that are just always good, I feel like. So
Riz Ahmed,
Oh yeah, Venom, I know, but but he was great in Nightcrawler, so
Nightcrawler and The Night Of. I don't know if you've seen The Night Of, the HBO limited series.
No, I have not.
It's good. Good.
All right. Okay, 5 movies more to go.
Man, you did watch a lot.
I did, yeah.
Including the whole thing, like 2 seasons. Did you say 2 seasons of BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, but that's only like 20 minutes per episode.
Oh, okay.
I watched Burn After Eating.
Oh, okay. This let me know what you think of this movie.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, many times.
Oh, so you like it?
I don't know if I could say I like it. I just think it's one of the, it's a Coen Brothers movie. It's a very Coen Brothers movie.
For me, it's a weaker one, kinda.
Well, it falls into their fun movies. I think they have a separate set of film. They have movies where they try and they don't really try that much.
And they didn't try and Burn After Eating.
I can't say that because I think. Because I've seen it so many times that there's things in that movie that, it's very quotable if you've seen it a lot. There seems to be a bit of a cult following around it. Kylie, my girlfriend, it's her favorite movie ever, which I remember when she told me that, I was like, you're fucking crazy. But when I watched it with her, I understood why she loved it so much, because she knew every fucking line.
Actually, I said it was a weaker one, but I still liked it. At the beginning, I felt a little confused, and because the Coens are always weird.
Oh, the story is all over the fucking place with that one.
Yes, but in the end, it has some hilarious moments, and most of them include Brad Pitt. Because I think that's an amazing role, honestly.
Yeah. I love the line where he's like, "You think that's a schwinn?" It's just such a he's that's one of his funny movies that he's in.
It is, yeah. And George Clooney, super paranoid and stuff. It's
That was kind of a, Departed-esque shock scene there, huh? Between the two of them.
Yeah, but more. That was in the middle of the movie. Yeah. So I did not.
Frances McDormand, though, she's good in that movie.
Yeah, she's good in every movie. So.
Right. Yeah. Also, though, you got J.K. Simmons in there too. He's the head of the CIA, I think, right? And
he's just in the end, some guys explaining the plot of the movie to him.
That's what I actually love.
He's just
that.
like, okay.
So we didn't learn anything, and
yeah, but like we just learned that we shouldn't do that stuff anymore. But what did we do? So it's a fun movie, but 6 out of 10. Probably wouldn't watch it again. I'm not a huge fan of the Coens.
6 is good though.
6 is totally decent.
I gotta say, Raising Arizona is
I want to see that.
Yeah, you got to put that on your list because that's Coen Brothers wacky right there. But
also it's early Nick Cage. So.
Yes, the good early Nick Cage, and he's fucking. That's a hell of a role, man. That's such a good role that I remember I saw that movie like I don't know 7 times when I was a kid because it was one of those movies that I just watched over and over. And then I realized later on, I was like, oh shit, that's Nicolas Cage. I don't know. It's a good movie though.
Yeah, I don't like when people shit so much on Nick Cage,
Me neither.
Because he was really, really good.
There was a time.
Probably still is, but his movie choice is
Yeah, he likes money, so he just keeps caking it in.
Can't blame him. But his prime is over.
But at least he's given us some gems here and there,
True that, yeah. Basically everything, or most things, up until 2005, I think.
Yeah. Kind of started to slip around there. His draw. But at the same time, the National Treasure movies were huge. Like, they were huge, those National Treasure movies. But
I've never seen them. It doesn't seem like movies for me.
I think you would actually enjoy those. The National Treasure. Yeah.
Is that like Indiana Jones like adventure stuff?
Yeah. Very Da Vinci Code kind of, but more indie. It's funny. It's actually funny. Like I liked the characters in it a lot. I think the characters are what drives the movie, but it's a fun ride, very fun ride.
So, kind of like The Mummy.
Better than the Mummy. Yeah, better than the Mummy.
I mean, that's not hard, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, better than the Mummy. Yeah, for sure. Although no Rachel Weisz, that does hurt a little bit.
Speaking of her, I watched Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Ooh, the original Johnny Hellblazer vehicle.
It's very dated.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it felt so whatever. Because like the whole premise is at this point, it's nothing new anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Felt very much like I was kind of bored, even though I mean it has Keanu Reeves who doesn't really, his acting in that movie isn't that great.
No.
I mean Rachel Weisz is always great, and then you have Shia LaBeouf in a side role. It's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I
thought
remember when I saw it. I remember it's just a movie that you watched right through. Like, it's better than Bright. I don't know why I pulled Bright out of my ass.
Also,
but
that's not very hard.
No, because that was a letdown, big letdown. But yeah, I don't think I'd watch it again. I think I've seen it once, and that was it.
Okay. Which one do I speak about next? I was in the theater yesterday.
The theater.
Dude, I watched Last Christmas.
Oh my god.
Emilia Clarke.
So yeah, it does come back to this. You finding nothing to watch, so you're just walking into these movies here.
I'm not sure why I watched it. Dude, that movie is. It's probably the corniest movie I've seen in ages, or ever.
But it's directed by Paul Feig. It has to be good.
Fuck that guy, dude.
Right? It has to be good if it's Paul Feig. Come on.
Dude, the plot and the plot twist of the movie is next level bullshit.
Yeah.
They took the line "Last Christmas I gave you my heart" literally. It's so bad. And then you have some twists that, where you just think I'd rather watch Fight Club or A Beautiful Mind, one of those twists.
And I have to say I'm very surprised that you would go to the theater to see this.
I know, movie. I felt very uncomfortable because like I was the only man in the room,
all alone. You got that creeper vibe about you,
super pathetic. But yeah. Also, dude, like a Christmas movie in November, I know.
I mean, I've
destroyed any chance of me getting into this Christmas spirit.
I've seen rom-coms alone in the theater, so I totally understand what you're going with there. It's uncomfortable if you're a man and alone watching a rom-com.
Yeah. Also, dude,
I don't know. This to me screams streaming. To me, like these are kind of movies that I think should just go directly to streams these days.
Also, again, Emilia Clarke only does horrible movies.
You know what's funny though is Paul Feig. Going back to Paul Feig, I actually like Bridesmaids. I actually thought Bridesmaids was funny.
That's kind of good, yeah.
It's funny. It's vulgar, but he has just fucking gone on a fucking shitstorm since then. Like he has done nothing since then. The Spy, just a bunch of Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
trash. You haven't seen the new Ghostbusters?
I never bothered, no.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. My God. I heard stories about it, yeah.
Yeah, remember, I'm a toxic, masculine, person because I don't like Ghostbusters, obviously.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Everybody criticizes that movie.
Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Have you ever seen the original Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Do you like the Ghostbusters?
The first one, not the second one. Yeah, I like it. But I'm not one of those big fans, I can see why Ghostbusters is iconic, but it's not my thing.
Not your thing. Not your cup of tea.
Yeah, but I still like it, It's funny.
That's actually coming. A new one, actually. A true
I heard about
sequel.
That.
So.
Yeah, they're rebooting so much stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I went on a tangent there. It's just Paul Feig just irritates me, especially when he came out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ghostbusters thing, saying it was our fault that we didn't like it. It's like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? I hate it. This new trend of directors that has to jump on Twitter and whine about their fucking movie. It's driving me crazy, that shit. But yeah.
Those are people who can't take criticism,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Emilia Clarke, though, Emilia Clarke continues her descent past Daenerys. You're saying?
Yeah, not like
I don't think she brings anything to the table, man. I'm with you on not liking Emilia Clarke.
I even think that her role as Daenerys isn't even that great. Like her acting is not super fantastic.
I feel like she just had the look, right? Like she just had the look of
Yeah.
Daenerys, right?
But it seems like even that kind of not weak role, but there's so many better performances in Game of Thrones.
I agree.
Like I think that was her peak, kind of, because everything, like besides that, have you seen Me Before You?
No.
That's a terrible rom-com, and she basically in Last Christmas she's the same character again, which is super irritating. She was very much faceless in Solo, even though I like Solo.
Oh
And,
yeah, God,
and
dude, I forgot she was in Solo. Oh my God.
Yeah, right, because she has like no personality.
Oh my God, when you said Solo, I was like, what the fuck is Solo? And then it hit me, I was like, oh shit, the Star Wars movie. And I was like, oh yeah, she was in it.
Dude, she is terrible in Terminator Genesis. That's an atrocious fucking movie.
That movie I never finished because I stopped it halfway because I couldn't stand her. I couldn't really stand the movie.
No.
That was tough.
I think that's the worst Terminator movie. By far.
Yes.
Not by far, but it's definitely the worst.
Yeah, I would say Terminator.
The third one is bad as well, but yeah.
Even the third one's better than Genesis, like for sure.
Yes.
Even Salvation is better than Genesis.
Yeah, and I don't like Salvation. I don't like any of them. And actually, I think besides one,
like any of them.
No, wait. Like besides 1 and 2, Dark Fate is probably the one I would say is the third best. But it's not very good, so it doesn't mean anything.
I still need to see Dark Fate, so I can't really comment on it.
I think you can skip that in theater. Just wait.
The first two I feel like are classic, just absolute classic, and they've been trying to mimic that ever since.
Again, I was never really on the fan train of Terminator 2. I think it's a decent action movie, but it's not one of my all-time favorites.
I think you had to be there when it came out. It was one of those moments.
Probably.
It was the biggest fucking movie ever for about a year and a half. Like nothing could touch Terminator 2. It was huge. Absolutely huge. I think I saw the trailer for Terminator 2 when I sat down for Total Recall. And I remember being like, oh my God, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Arnold.
Yes.
And maybe I should watch Terminator 2 again.
I would. Yeah. I think the first one's definitely dated, but I think even the second one's probably dated by now, but still James Cameron still has a way of making it, last. You still need to see The Abyss though as well. I definitely say The Abyss. Yeah.
I think that's the only Cameron movie I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Today I watched a movie, a classic, true classic, Platoon.
Ooh, you just watched that today?
Yeah.
So it's fresh in the mind.
Yeah.
Oliver Stone's classic Platoon won Best Picture. What did you think?
Dude, Tom Berenger is an asshole.
Isn't he great in that though?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But also, of course, Willem Dafoe. He's fantastic.
Sergeant Barnes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Charlie Sheen as the lead is kind of whatever.
Yeah, I almost feel like they should have swapped Depp and Charlie Sheen.
Probably, yeah.
That probably would have been a better call there. Charlie Sheen, you're right, not a good lead. But I feel like that movie works for Charlie Sheen because he doesn't really
he's
have
not
to.
Horrible.
He doesn't have to do much, right?
No.
Yeah.
Also, Keith David is in it. What I like. Forrest Whitaker, the king of whispering.
Right. Did you like Platoon? Oh, it's fucking great.
It's a good war movie, but it's always kind of hard for me to I always kind of feel like an asshole when I don't find those classics that great. But when I saw Saving Private Ryan and Hacksaw before I watched Platoon, so it's kind of I'm used to more action-packed stuff.
Right. Platoon at the time was, I would say probably dated by now. In terms of there's no graphic, nothing graphic. I think about it. I think the music
is great.
really carries it a lot in the movies and in the film. I love that movie. It was a big movie in my family. Like people in my family went nuts about that movie. Like they watched it over and over in the house. So I've consumed it so much. Like just that one scene with Tom Berenger where he goes down to see him and he's just talking shit to him. He's like, "You all want to kill me? Kill me." You know, and he's just total asshole drunk. Probably one of the most hated characters when I was growing up watching him because, and also Willem Dafoe's. I love the Elias character. I love his, hippie
His
little
death scene is great.
great iconic death scene. Yeah,
A little bit like it's maybe a little bit too much, but I like it. You know.
well, they've made fun of it so much too. Like
Yeah,
Tropic
true.
Thunder made fun of it, and a lot of movies made fun of it since. But for the time, I would say fantastic. Because you had a lot of resurgence of Vietnam movies around then. You had Hamburger Hill, Full Metal Jacket came out after that, I think. Yeah, it did come out after.
Apocalypse Now was, a few years before.
Apocalypse Now was the first like Vietnam flick. Coming Home, I think, was in there as well. But Coming Home wasn't
Deer Hunter?
about Vietnam. Deer Hunter, yeah. But like the setting was all in Vietnam for Platoon and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, right.
But I
Deer Hunter
definitely
is
say,
not very-
even though I love Apocalypse Now, I'd say Platoon is the better movie. But Apocalypse Now is this thing all on its own. It's very, very iconic.
I think I like Apocalypse Now more. But it's been a while.
It's definitely more visually stunning too.
Yeah.
Both better than Full Metal Jacket, I would say. Full Metal Jacket
I
to
haven't
me
seen
just
that
has
yet. Kind of.
Full Metal Jacket. You should watch Full Metal Jacket. I think Full Metal Jacket has one of the best first halves.
I've seen the first half twice.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go.
Never the whole movie.
It's such a good first half. It is one of the best first halves probably ever. Because, man, R. Lee Ermey as the drill instructor. It's just fucking like you don't want to join the army after that. Like
he's probably the one thing from that movie that stays in your mind.
Yeah, I forgot. I think I don't know if you know the actor Anthony Michael Hall. He was a big '80s kid. He played the geek in Breakfast Club.
Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe I know his face.
Weird Science.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. He was big back then. He was supposed to have the lead.
Of course, yeah, I know him from Breakfast Club.
He was supposed to have the lead of Full Metal Jacket, but he something schedule conflicted, and it went to Matthew Modine. I feel like it would have been a better movie if it was Anthony Michael Hall. Than I'm not a big Matthew Modine fan.
Nobody is probably.
Not as a lead, especially. I don't think he's a good lead.
Have you seen Birdie?
It's been a long time. I remember. I think you just saw that though recently.
This year, but yeah, it's been a few months. One of my dad's favorites.
Birdie.
That's Vietnam as well.
Mm-hmm.
But not very. It's not a war movie.
It's like the aftermath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The last movie and the best movie I've seen in the last 2 weeks. Ford v Ferrari.
Oh,
Christian
you already
Bale
saw
and
that?
Matt Damon. Yes, I saw it at the premiere on Wednesday with my dad and a friend.
What a jerk! How was it?
It was amazing, dude. The racing scenes are so incredible because they actually used real cars. It's not CG. Like
It's
it's
not
there is
CGI?
CG, but
Okay.
it is they shot it with real cars, and it just looks amazing. And Christian Bale in that movie is dude. I don't think he's gonna get a nomination, but I would like to see him, getting one. He is carrying the movie. He's super funny.
It looks just like, just from the moment of the trailer, like you just knew that you're just gonna have a fun ride watching that movie.
It is very old school, just Hollywood kind of blockbuster action sports competition movie.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Just and despite the fact it's 2.5 hours, it doesn't feel long.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Great.
I just saw that 2.5 hours. I'm kind of happy about that actually when I see that, because now I kind of want to see it in the theater.
Dude, it's like I would recommend you watching it in the theater because it's really good.
And does it put you in the race type
Yes.
feel? Okay, yeah.
Totally. Like the last 40 minutes is just the Le Mans race,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. It's super good.
Yeah, because Matt Damon's not like. It's weird because I don't think Matt Damon's great, but he's still
Oh,
a
I think he
draw.
is.
I don't know about great actor. I think his best for me best performance was like Talented Mr. Ripley, where he was kind of crazy.
Not
But
The
I don't
Departed
think.
or
I
Good Will
think,
Hunting.
but I feel like he's still just Matt Damon in both of those roles. Like he's just Matt Damon. I'm trying to rack my brain of movies that he's like stretched it, because even in The Martian, it's still just Matt Damon. But it doesn't bother me though. It doesn't. I'm not like ragging on Matt Damon because I feel like Matt Damon is a draw for me.
For me, it's the other way around. I think he's an amazing actor, but for me, he's not a draw.
Hmm.
You know, for me, like Christian Bale is a draw, and I think now with having seen The Fighter, Ford v Ferrari, and The Machinist, I think I've seen all major Christian Bale movies.
Empire of the
And
Sun,
yeah, that's the one I'm not. I haven't seen.
Little Women.
Isn't that the movie coming out next year?
No, I'm talking about the old school one with Winona Ryder.
Yeah, but you know, like I've seen his major performance movies, I think.
Let me see. Which one am I thinking of for Bale? American Psycho. Have you seen American Psycho?
I have.
Good movie. Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite Bale then? Since you
Hard
do seem to
question.
be a Bale fan, so
Dude, he's in my top 5. So,
top 5's pretty big.
I mean, The Fighter is very impressive, and he got the Oscar for it. But
Yeah, it's
I
tough to go
really like
against
him
that
as
role.
yeah, true. I really like him as Batman, of course,
Mhm.
but it's not very much like it's not as much of a performance as The Fighter or The Machinist. Yeah, I don't know. Like I really love him in Ford v Ferrari, but it's a comedic role, which is great. And yeah,
That's good for him. I think it's good for him because he does a lot of dramatic roles. So
it's
like
both.
when you think about like Hostel is just all drama, just all drama.
Yeah, that's a great role as well.
Vice, it's kind of just I really didn't like Vice, so I can't really.
But
Vice was just I don't know. I think my problem with Vice is like I said, I like W more because I feel like it just told me the same story.
it's for me it doesn't feel like a Christian Bale performance, you know, because you don't even recognize him. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Also,
Heisen was
like
saying
310 to Yuma.
Heisen was saying he hasn't seen American Psycho, and I had to respond, yes, he did. I don't think he caught that. Before we break into the King, I'm going to take a 2-minute break real quick. I've got to use the restroom. I can't just pee on the floor, so I'll be right back.
Why not?
All right, I am back.
Okay, then let's move on to the King.
The King, Netflix.
Netflix movie about King Henry V of England, I think. What's up, Roy?
Roy.
So first, did you like it?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes, I
me
did.
too. That's good.
Yes, I did.
So it's a very long movie, and it's very slow. But I think for both of us, that's kind of a good thing. I think.
I'll say it right now. I could have went another hour. Like I feel like something. I feel like they might have trimmed it a little bit. Not saying there's things that are missing or anything like that, but I feel like I could have had another good 40 minutes. Like it could have been a 3-hour movie for me, 3.5.
Yeah, totally.
Because I was all in. I mean, I instantly the tone, the music, already the historical setting of where it takes place during the 1400s with King Henry V, Hal, before so. That's always been a cool, it's the start of the 100 Years' War, essentially. So, I mean, I was already intrigued by the movie itself. Plus, it was supposed to take the historical look at it instead of the typical Henry V Shakespearean play, which we've seen before with the Kenneth Branagh movie in the 90s, Henry V.
It does feel very authentic, I think.
Yes, that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, me too. I feel like you said it could have been longer. I think they could maybe have made the whole conquest thing of France a bit longer, just a bit more. But overall, I was very, very happy. Like I had great expectations, as you know, and
like for me, it gets about it. For me, it gets like an 8 or 9 because of I wanted, like you said, the more of the conquest of France. That's right on the money, right there, because you have quite a build up. You have some great battle sequences, though. Great battle sequences.
It starts off with a duel between King Henry. No, he's not king at that point. But you know what I mean? The battle between
Hal and Percy
and Tommen Baratheon.
Yeah.
So there's that duel, and I already thought this is fantastic because actually it looked like people fighting for their life. And this. What I really appreciate about this movie is that they actually, the armor matters. In the end, great moment. Not gonna spoil it, but the moment with Robert Pattinson where his armor is a disadvantage. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It was kind of like almost silly in a way, but it was.
Yeah, but I think it was supposed to be.
Right, it was right
because he's so sassy and an asshole, and it's just
great performance, by the way, by Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I think I told you people might find it silly or great, and I thought it was great.
I think if you're French, you're not gonna like it.
No, but I mean his accent was actually fine, I think, and he has some great moments.
And you do live in Europe, so you can actually. I can't really say if the accent was authentic or not. It
seemed all right. Yeah,
I thought it sounded good. It didn't sound like Robert Pattinson. So, and he has a good look about him. He was perfect for the that role, I think, of the Dauphin.
Seemed like he had lots of fun playing that because it kind of seemed like he wasn't taking it very seriously, and I thought it was perfect.
Funny little story. I read that on the IMDb page, the Did You Know little section that they have there. Shyamalan, one of the things that he found funny on the set was seeing Robert Pattinson in full gear smoking a Juul. Like he had all his armor on and stuff, and he's sitting there taking puffs out of the Juul. Oh, and also that scene that you're talking about, he actually filmed that scene. He's in the armor.
Great. Oh,
they filmed it twice, once with a stunt, once with Pattinson, because Pattinson insisted that he do it. He wanted to do it, and they said that they kept the Pattinson version in there. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I like that. I like that a lot, yeah.
We also have Ben Mendelsohn, but he's barely in the film, But
it doesn't. It's not like a standout. It's not like a standout role for him.
It's basically the usual Mendo, It's just Ben Mendelsohn as always, but
well, like I said about the making it a little bit longer, I feel like he could have had, I don't know, maybe 20 extra minutes of the build up of Henry and his father, a little bit there. Because you kind of fill in the gaps there that they're, why he's pissed at him so much.
Actually, I think we're the only people who think this movie could have been longer. Because I think
Well, it was so well done that I did want more of it. Yeah.
The costume design, the whole atmosphere of that movie, it's really cool. And for me, it's very special because I haven't seen such authenticity in a movie in a long time.
Well, you bring up the armor. It's like the first damn medieval movie that felt like they took the armor into consideration. It was an actual. Because he even says, he's like, we got to wear light armor, not the heavy shit. And you see at the end why,
Yeah. Like, even in Game of Thrones, people, even with plate armor, it feels like they slash through it like butter, And in this one, it feels heavy and impactful.
It's an impressive story, too, the Henry V story, regardless, because, he did gain control of all of France there for a while.
Okay, so for me, a weak part of this movie is Timothée Chalamet.
Really?
I think it's not his strongest performance. It's a little, I don't know. It's not
Here's
as
the
good
thing.
as
Here's the thing, because I wanted to get into this with you too. I feel like he's going to be this amazing actor. Honestly, I think he is already forming his. He's already paving the way here. He's young.
He was Oscar nominated already.
He's Oscar nominated. He's very young, but I think the youngness, his age, it reminds me of DiCaprio. When DiCaprio was younger, he was still good, but there was this, I don't know. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can relate to this guy, type of feeling. Maybe I'm too old for Chalamet. Chalamet. Is it Chalamet or
Chalamet?
Chalamet.
I don't know how old he is actually. Like 25.
He just seems very young. Obviously, he has the look of a young guy. But I feel like this guy's gonna. I feel like this guy's gonna grow into a really, really good actor, and he's gonna have some really, really good fucking roles. Because he had. I thought he was fantastic in this movie. Honestly, I just feel like they didn't really go into the story enough beforehand before he starts becoming, Mr. Bitchin'.
Also, he's taking different roles. He's gonna be in Dune, which is
right. We talked about that.
From history movie to science fiction movie. He was in coming of age drama. Call Me by Your Name.
I remember.
He's gonna be in Little Women. So multiple different stuff. I like it.
This was my first real deal exposure though to him. So I left very impressed, and now I'm even more so excited for the Dune to see him, the Paul Atreides character. That's a perfect casting, honestly.
It is, yes.
Perfect, yeah. So I'm really excited about the Dune movie, even more so after watching The King.
And then also Joel Edgerton, I thought was really cool in The King.
See, I feel like we disagree there, because I feel like I love Joel Edgerton. He's like this triple force too: writer, director, actor.
Yeah.
He's always good in the movies that he's in. I just feel like the character does have its significance. It does have a significance because he represents like the loss, the cost, of what took place when he, towards the end when the princess says, you didn't have to do this type of shit. So I get that. It didn't resonate with me as much as it could have. I feel like the buildup was there. The battle scene with him was great.
It was.
And he has a very authentic accent as well. He's very impressive as an actor. Maybe we needed more. Maybe I needed more of Edgerton there. I feel like he didn't. Maybe not enough. Maybe that's the thing with that role.
Might be. I feel like Joel Edgerton is often overlooked. He's kind of underrated. For me, he's actually way better. Not way better, but he's better than DiCaprio in The Great Gatsby, for example.
I haven't seen that yet, but
you haven't? Okay.
I don't know why I haven't seen it. Yeah, the director Baz Luhrmann is kind of iffy for me, so I don't know. I'll probably get around to watching it, but I know it's Tobey Maguire. Really, I got to be honest. Tobey Maguire is not a sell for me, as we know.
Not at all. He's actually him in a lead and having Edgerton and DiCaprio in the movie, like he has no chance. He's completely overshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's always the case with McGuire. So, he's on my list of actors I just don't consider very good.
And then, what was the other performance in here? Your
Harris.
guy. Yeah. The whole time I'm watching this.
Guy.
I know, but you've mentioned Sean Harris before, I believe, and
he was in Mission Impossible and Macbeth.
And he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the leprechaun in American Gods, but a schedule conflict.
Oh, but I think
he would have been good.
Is really good.
Yeah, like I feel like the Pablo guy, he kind of brought it, but Sean Harris has a much better leprechaun-y look.
I think it was perfect for this role in The King.
Yeah, I agree.
You've seen Macbeth, right? In that one, he's also pretty cool.
And I feel like Macbeth is underrated, honestly.
It's a very special interest movie,
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be in for that because it's like very. I don't think I understood what they were saying most of the time because of the language.
Have you read the play?
No.
Do you like Shakespeare?
Can't say I do because I haven't read anything really.
Well, speaking of Shakespeare, though, that is the one character that's not historically accurate. Is the Falstaff character, the Edgerton character?
Oh,
that is a character from the play. So that's like a little bridge I think they did between the historical accuracy and the actual play, because the play is very famous, the Henry V play. Upon St. Crispin's Day, that fucking line is from that. It's not my favorite like Shakespearean work, so I think I read it once in school and then I moved on.
I appreciate that some historical background on this movie.
I didn't know anything. I like a little history. I'm lucky because my dad was a historical nut job, so I learned a lot here and there. Pick up on some things. Henry V is an interesting character though, because don't really root for him. I mean, the thing about these British period movies too is that there's part of me that's like, should I be rooting for the Brits here? Should I? I don't know. Historically, I think the Brits have some issues. But I mean, at the same time, this was fighting for their island, fighting for But I don't know.
Like from the movie's perspective, you kind of root for Henry, I think, because Pattinson is even worse.
I think you have to root for him, but then at the end, when he kind of finds out that it was all for really political gain, it was really for nothing. All these people that died, I don't know. I mean, are you supposed to root for that? It's tough.
But at least
it's very conflicting character. I'm just saying, Henry V.
Yeah, but that's always the most interesting characters. So.
Mm-hmm. And I thought he was good. I thought Shyamalan really, because I think I'd watch this again.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually thinking about just watching it tonight, because for me, like, I didn't watch it a second time for this show. I watched it once, and that's 2 weeks ago because I watched it before and after our last show. In two parts.
Yeah, because you actually watched it right when it came out. I watched it last night, so it's still very fresh. Yeah.
So I might watch it again because it's a special movie, and I haven't seen stuff like this before, so I appreciate it.
And for me, I'll tell you why it's special, because for me, this is what saved the movie, was that ending scene with Sean Harris. Because the Pattinson scene, as much as I like the Pattinson scene, it was kind of like a little anticlimactic in terms of the battle, because then it's just over at that point. Yeah. So when you have this final scene with Sean Harris,
that was brutal.
It was awesome. That's another thing to this movie that I love, is the brutality.
The beheading looked very good.
Yes, it did. I love the beheading. I thought about that too. I was like, man, I should slow that down because that looked fucking real. That looked like they just cut a fucking dude's head off.
And in one shot, you see his face and then head falls off. It's like, for me, there was total immersion, looked totally real. And I think this is a movie for the big screen. And
that's another thing about it. It feels weird that it's on Netflix.
It's a Netflix movie, dude. Yeah. And it feels like, actually, like, this could have been in theater, totally. I think the quality is super high.
it's kind of a conflicting thing too, again, because you're saying to yourself, this should be in the theater, but at the same time, this is one of those movies that's going to push the streaming envelope even more so to have such an epic. Because I will say, I think this is an epic. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
I think it falls. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough for me because I do want to call it an epic, but like Braveheart, Gladiator, to me, I think are epic. You know, I don't know if it.
Yeah.
Maybe multiple viewings, I might say this, but
I feel like The King is more on the tragedy side.
I think if they would have went on the 3-hour mark, then it would have been epic because maybe a little bit more conquest into France there, but. Because the scenes of the battle were so good that I did want a little bit more battle. Especially that single shot scene when he's in battle was fantastic. When he's doing his thing. Because historically, man, I mean, my God, he fought like 6 years of battles, man. This was a king that had no trouble being on the battlefield whatsoever. They actually say he's the last warrior king as well. So, yeah.
Okay, that's impressive. Actually, I would like to see the budget on this movie, but it's not. No,
I feel like it's pretty fucking high. Yeah, I feel like
it must be. Yeah,
it had to have been high for this because you got to figure the cast was a pretty significant cast.
Then you have great set design, great costume design.
Yeah, that
big battles. You know,
didn't feel like there was a lot of CGI at all.
No,
I mean
that's what I liked.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. It's to the point where when you see a movie that's practically crafted that you just appreciate it more. Just really do.
Oh yeah. So what's your rating out of 10?
I gotta go solid 8. I want to go 9.
Yeah.
It's tough. Because I think maybe the second viewing it'd probably go up to 9. Because I don't think this movie will diminish on a second viewing. Like I feel like this movie will get better like wine. And I think this was really good. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name or the other movies that this kid's been in, but I was very impressed. Very impressed.
He was in Interstellar, actually. But, doesn't matter.
Who did he play in Interstellar?
His son, like when he was a kid. And later it was Casey Affleck. Yeah. I'm going for an 8 as well.
8 just feels right to me. I wanted to, like I said, 9 feels like it should. God, he was born in 1995.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I just want more, kind of,
All these young bucks. For the movie?
Yeah. I
agree.
This could have been a great mini-series, Just stretch it a bit, make like 5 episodes or something.
Oh, look at you. Look at you saying that should just be a show rather than a...
Yeah, but a 5-hour movie doesn't seem right. But a show with 5 episodes is better.
I agree. I think they would have... You know what? That's probably why it deserves the 8, is because... It's tough because, I feel like they were shooting for the 10. They were shooting for... they knew that this was a good movie when they were making it.
Yeah.
Very close to a 9 for me. But I agree. I think if you would have just done this a 6-episode series, you would have got a lot more out of it. A lot more. Because that's a rich... And, we talked about Game of Thrones earlier a little bit, but you can kind of see where, what's his name? George R.R. Martin got a lot of inspiration for Game of Thrones with English history. Just the politics involved, the backstabbing, the conniving. It's no wonder that he based so much of it off of England.
Dude, honestly, the last scene with Sean Harris, that hurt, man. That hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
It was so fast and so... But that's another reason why I liked his character so much. So I guess I do like Henry V in a way in this portrayal because he just doesn't... He doesn't think. He doesn't wish-wash or anything. He just goes. And I like that about him.
I was actually I'm glad that you like this movie because I wasn't sure, because people either really find this very boring or really like it.
No, I was all in for more for the tone because I feel like they nailed the look. You got to nail the look if you're going to do a period movie, and I feel like the armor, the dirt, the grit, Mendelsohn looked like shit. You gotta have people looking like shit in these movies. Yeah, I thought it was impressive, and I'm really I haven't really been impressed too much by Netflix movies. So I feel like this was the first movie that was highly impressive to me.
You should watch Dolomite.
I know you were gonna say that because I almost watched it last night right after actually, but then I watched The Mandalorian again.
Okay, I mean, it's not a bad alternative. Also,
No.
if you like for historical, like medieval movies, Outlaw King is a good Netflix movie.
I was thinking about that as well because I remember Robert the Bruce.
I might watch that again as well because it's been a year since that came out, and I really like Stannis Baratheon in that one. Stephen Delane. I'm not sure. Like Chris Pine is always a little bit. I don't know.
It seems like an out of place role for Chris Pine. I think that's the reason why I've kind of. I haven't watched. I think that's the reason why I haven't, because I like Chris Pine. Actually, I do. I just feel like when I think Robert the Bruce, Scotland, the face does not come up as Chris Pine for me. So I think that's the
James McAvoy.
Yeah. Just somebody less American, I think.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor would have been good. Gordon Ramsay, even.
Right.
This guy though, this director, David Michaud.
Yeah. Oh, he did Animal Kingdom as well. And
right.
With Pattinson.
I haven't seen The Rover, and I haven't seen War Machine either.
Me neither, but it's on Netflix. But I heard it's not that good. So
I heard War Machine wasn't that good, but it kind of makes me want to watch it since he did direct it now.
For me, I mean, Brad Pitt is the draw to watch it. So, at some point, I'll see it for sure.
And speaking of Brad Pitt, this was produced by Brad Pitt. So if this does get any Oscar buzz, he will get nominated.
I don't think so.
I don't think
maybe
so either.
Maybe for costume design, maybe.
I could see maybe. No, I don't think they'll nominate Shyamalan.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He has a way too strong competition this year. Like you already have Pattinson for The Lighthouse. I heard he's really good. Then
for best actor.
Yeah, Banderas was in a movie. He's said to be fantastic. And you have DiCaprio. De Niro is in the pool. Joaquin Phoenix. So it's a strong competition this year. So
I feel like it's all against Joaquin Phoenix. Obviously, I think that the hype and the money that movie's made, I feel like it's going to be hands down hand him that Oscar.
But it's so sad that it can only be one, which kind of makes it cool.
That's the reason you have winners and losers, bro.
Yeah, because like for me, I want DiCaprio to win, but I also want Taron Egerton to win. So yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
Christian
for Rocket
Bale
Man.
as well.
That's right. That's right. Rocket Man was this year.
I think, but like my Oscar calls. I mean, the nominations aren't out yet, but for me, it's probably like what I want is I'd say Edgerton and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt for supporting in Hollywood,
Oh, and then Taron
for leading, because he never got one before, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix didn't either, but would be cool. But I don't think so because Rami Malek won last year, and that's kind of similar,
Yeah, I wonder if Taron will get the nomination, honestly.
I hope so. It's very... Also, he does his own singing in that movie, which is really impressive.
The thing that goes against him, too, is that it came out so early. February releases are tough to get. But, Braveheart was a February release.
I think it was May.
Or whatever it was. But it was earlier. It definitely wasn't around Oscar season like now.
Now all the movies come out that, are in the Oscar
That's why I feel like The King might have a chance at something. Probably, like you said, costume design for sure.
Yeah.
But this is another...
Honestly, I think Hollywood will get costume design.
Maybe.
And set design.
I think I don't know if Hollywood's gonna get as many nominations as you think.
Dude.
I don't know.
I think
although Tarantino does always get a lot of nominations. So
like from a technical standpoint, I think Hollywood is perfect.
Perfect.
Camera, set design, costumes, it's all so good.
Perfect.
For me, it is, yeah. Tarantino always has that quality of just, having good camera. Everything just looks good.
That's a big thing. That's a big deal. Is quality. Quality is important. That's what I appreciated about.
Quality.
That's what I appreciated about this movie is that it just had quality all over its ass. That's why I would like to know what the budget was on The King, honestly, because.
Well, that's the problem with Netflix movies, you know.
Yeah, you don't really know, do you?
No, not always. But I think for The Irishman, it's known that I think 160 million.
That's a lot of That's a lot of fucking money. Jesus.
Probably mostly went into CGI faces, you know.
40 million to the cast, probably.
I'm curious about that movie. 8.7 right now, you know.
For The Irishman?
Yeah.
Ooh. When does that actually come out? Because that'll be
27th.
Soon. Huh? Ooh.
Yeah, soon. That's probably that's the biggest Netflix release of all time. So.
Yeah, it will be. It will be because that's gonna have some Oscar buzz for sure.
I actually heard that Al Pacino is amazing in that movie, and that's that gives me some hype.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope we get a good performance by our boy Pacino.
But all of our boys, Joe Pesci, De Niro,
I have to say, Pesci still. I don't know why, but Pesci just. I feel like this is a Joe Pesci movie, even though I know it's not a Joe Pesci movie. I'm so excited about.
And some people said he's like the best performance in the film, even though he's not much in the film.
As much as De Niro. I'm just happy to see him back. Like I didn't realize how much I missed. I think it's just Scorsese Pesci though. It's just one of those like. I was never like the big Joe Pesci fan per se. But always in the Scorsese movies, he just shined.
Also that he's just coming back after retirement, you know?
Yeah, like 9 years or something?
No, more. I think
14?
It was 15 or something, yeah.
Oh, it's 3 hours and 29 minutes long. Oh my God. Oh, nice. Okay. He's settling in for that one. Damn. Fucking Scorsese. I'm excited.
And we both like long movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Longer the better.
Ford v Ferrari is long, 2.5 hours.
I saw that. I looked it up when you were talking about it, so I saw the. That's how I remember. I remember being so excited about like Infinity War when they said 3 hours. I was like, "What? Oh my God! I'm so there. That's awesome. Let's do it."
Infinity War was 3 hours. Was an Endgame 3 hours?
One of them was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think Endgame, yeah. Infinity War is 2.5.
2.5. Was Endgame 3 hours?
Yeah, it was.
3 hours, 1 minute. Wow.
It's been so long already since Endgame.
It's on Disney Plus as well.
Oh yeah, right.
Disney Plus got the juice. I have to admit, too, here's another thing about Disney Plus that is very cool. All right. Netflix does that upcharge. For one, Netflix is already more. Netflix has the upcharge for the 4K HDR. They'll be like, hey, if you want 4K HDR, you got to pay us what? $2 extra, $3 extra? I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, yeah.
But Disney Plus, right off the bat, it's included in the subscription. So
for like $7 or $6?
It's $6.99, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Or you can just buy it by the year for like $69.99, which I mean, to me that's a subscription that I could see throwing down because of one, the catalog that they have, and the shit that's coming on their original list.
Yeah,
because The Mandalorian was fucking impressive, just impressive.
Oh, did you already watch the whole thing?
There's only one episode. They're doing that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
they didn't do the Netflix.
It's not like
yeah. Netflix is the only one that does that. I'm actually surprised that they do that. I'm happy that they do, but to me, Netflix would be smarter to do the one at a time because it keeps the subs. You know.
True. I actually kind of like the one at a time sometimes.
Yeah,
but like
depends.
with Game of Thrones, I liked it because you always had like anticipation for the next episode, and you could speculate and stuff.
Yeah, because now that you have all these, here's the thing. Like, I like the fact that you can get a whole show right away. It's awesome to watch it all right away, but it takes away from that anticipation. The next episode takes away from talking about it with somebody. Because a lot of the times when they just release on Netflix, like say for instance, you and I will watch a show, right? Maybe I'll be 3 episodes in, maybe you'll be 6, so we can't really talk about it. You know what I mean?
Also, it kind of takes away the impact of single episode endings, you know, because you can just continue.
Right.
Like
The cliffhangers
don't really, yeah. But still,
yeah,
it's
you just click
nice.
play and you're ready to go.
I mean, I do think it's very cool to just can binge through a whole show at one evening.
I mean, we're consumers. I mean, you know, if The Mandalorian was all the way on there, yeah, I probably would have done one single sitting for sure.
I haven't done
suit, that fucking suit that Pedro Pascal is wearing it's incredible.
Will you think he's gonna take off his mask?
I don't know. I don't know if he will. I don't know. I think it's a Judge Dredd situation where they don't ever take off their mask.
Maybe.
Like a true Mandalorian doesn't remove his mask or some shit. Because they're going heavy lore in here too. So
also, Pascal isn't really a draw for a lot of people. I think not yet. He's slowly on the rise right now, but I think his voice alone is enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, I agree. I was actually surprised when I found out he was the lead, but happy.
I think it's an amazing choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the perfect character for like that guy, because I think like it's kind of similar. It feels I haven't seen it, but it feels kind of similar to Ober and Martell in a way.
And that's a great role.
Badass.
Great role too.
Yeah.
He nailed that too. I mean, I was so waiting for that season to come after I read the books, like 5 years before that shit, and I remember just waiting for Oberon to come on screen. And when I never saw that guy before, Pedro Pascal, but
no, that was
he fucking just nailed it, absolutely nailed it.
Also, like fourth season of Game of Thrones is the peak of the series, I think. Because maybe even because of him, I think he's like a huge addition.
Maybe you just don't like Game of Thrones because he died.
His death was interesting.
It has nothing to do with the writing at all,
Nah.
Why else would I have come so far, right, Amon?
I don't think we should talk about Game of Thrones on this show.
Why else have I come this far? Yeah, okay, Bran, you piece of shit.
Dude, I hate that so much.
I know you do. That is the worst part about the ending right there.
How you can like that shit. Honestly.
No. You're misinterpreting. I liked aspects of the ending. I thought it ended fine. I hated the Bran thing. I absolutely hated the Bran thing.
There's so much stuff I hated.
I mean, okay. I don't think the writing in the last season was that bad. I honestly think one of the episodes in the last season was one of the best. The episode when they're all meeting in the tavern there. That was one of the best episodes they ever had at Game of Thrones.
You mean the first or the second one?
It's like the second episode, I think.
Yeah, the first 2 were great because that was like usual Game of Thrones, but after that I feel like it was way more style over substance.
No, I think it's a tragedy, but those actors wanted to move on, and I don't think HBO can continue the show. I think it needed another season, but they didn't.
Probably,
get it.
Yeah. I think for those actors, it's kind of hard to move on. Emilia Clarke is doing some bullshit.
I think you'll definitely see Cersei do some shit. You'll see. Yeah,
but she already did stuff before that.
Yeah.
Same with Jamie and Sean.
You're talking about the people that were brought in
that
from
emerged from Game of Thrones.
So Emilia Clarke, Jon Snow.
Actually, I think that Tommen Baratheon is gonna be big. He's gonna be in 1917 as well. So.
I feel like they're gonna put him in the bitch roles, though. I feel like he's got such a pouty little face that.
True. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I know. Kind of like a weak role in.
I mean, this is 2 roles in a row here where we've seen the weak guy. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But
maybe
1917. He's I think the sidekick of the main guy.
He
Or
plays
they
whiny.
both main
So,
guys.
he plays whiny so well that I don't know if he's gonna get away from that.
Yeah, but maybe, but still, he might be in a lot of movies.
I think Richard Madden. I think we talked
True.
about it. I think Richard
Yeah.
Madden will be the shining star out of. Because I don't even think Jon Snow. What the hell's
I
his
think
name again?
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington. Thank you.
Just didn't do enough. Like I think he had the chance to do more movies, probably,
Hmm.
but like he didn't. And I think the movies he did were just shit.
Well, he just signed on to the MCU too, so I think, again, as
Yeah, but
much as
he's
the
not
MCU is good for.
I think.
Yeah, as much as the MCU is good to be in the fraternity, I think it hurts getting other roles because you're locked in. You know, it's kind of a James Bond situation.
Yeah, like Robert Downey Jr. wasn't doing anything besides MCU the last couple
He,
of
he
years.
had like a couple things, but that was like, yeah, I think it was The Judge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
Robert
that was
Duvall.
about it. Yeah.
Um, but now, I mean, Doolittle. I don't give a shit about that.
No,
But,
no.
Sherlock Holmes 3. That's
Sherlock Holmes 3, but then there's part of me, it's just like, you know what? Probably another 10 years of Tony Stark and I would have been fine. Like, that is so selfish of me to say, but
yeah, but dude,
I
like
can feel myself thinking that.
some things should just end when it's like at the
And
peak,
it ended perfectly
Yeah,
for
it
Tony.
did.
So I
The
can't
thing
complain.
a thing I'm not sure about is Sherlock Holmes 3 is not by Guy Ritchie.
Right.
So it's by the guy who did Rocketman. So
Well, that's your boy then, Rocketman.
yeah, but I love Guy Ritchie.
Who's the director of Rocketman anyway? I don't know.
Dexter Fletcher. He was actually in an actor. He's an actor. He's in Band of Brothers and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Dexter Fletcher.
He did. I think he shot a
Oh
big
yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah,
Bohemian
yeah,
Rhapsody.
yeah. Lock, Stock. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love this guy in Lock, Stock. He's fantastic.
And he's a good director. Like Eddie the Eagle with Taron Egerton is a good movie. Rocketman is a great movie, and he did parts of Bohemian Rhapsody. So
Wow. So he's moved into the director's chair, I see.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine with that, actually. Because he's a Guy Ritchie guy. You know,
yeah, he's probably a friend of his. So
probably the best one to do the movie. You know, if you're gonna think about it. So why not?
yeah, maybe Matthew Vaughn. Because Matthew Vaughn has a similar style to
Yeah.
Ritchie.
I'm excited about that though, because I've always wanted more of the. I like the Downey Jr. Those
Oh yeah,
movies.
me too. I should watch those again as well because it's been ages.
Right. It says they're all coming back. Yeah, even Rachel
Yeah.
McAdams. Oh, it says rumored. Rumored.
Yeah, but most of the time, rumored is kind of safe on IMDb.
Because even Jude Law, I like Jude Law as Watson in that. So that's something to look out for.
Yeah.
Pre-production, it says. You know.
All right. I would have the list now, but I think that takes too long.
I feel like this is a good wrap here. You know, I feel like we covered the movie. We dissected some film.
Yeah. Actually, the part in The King was way longer than the parts we had before about the movie.
Yeah, I know. You know, the 6-hour show of murder mystery. I don't think we talked about murder mystery that much in that 6 hours, did we?
I think we talked about actresses and directors and everything, but dude, murder mystery is atrocious. So
I'm all for the longer shows. I love the longer shows because I like just talking movies with you. But
yeah,
I will have to have some short shows here and there. And today is just one of those days.
That's totally fine. Actually, I kind of like that. It's like at my time, it's not even 7 p.m. yet, so.
This feels like one of the better structured shows that we had because I feel like I kind of contain myself on tangents a little bit this week. So not tangents, but you know how I go off on an actor and I was like, oh my god, have you seen this, and this? And then it's like 20 minutes in, we're still talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I restrained myself a bit because I could have talked hours about Boogie Nights probably. So yeah.
I mean. Might be able to do a show on Boogie Nights. I haven't seen it in a long time, so
I would do a show on Paul Thomas Anderson in total. I think
I like that idea.
Then I had a reason. I would have a reason to rewatch There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that again. And I still need to see Inherent Vice. I know that's been a continuing theme. But
Yeah, Inherent Vice, I'm not so sure. It's it's between 6 and 7 for me, you know?
well, when you compare it to his other movies, it's like
It's weaker.
it definitely doesn't look, like on par with the other ones there. And I still need to see the Phantom Thread.
I might see that again, but it's kind of not my. It's a very much performance focused movie, but
Yeah, that's what I heard.
kind of boring.
That feels weird to be that. That's the last Daniel Day, though. I feel like he needs
Yeah, and
another
it's
one.
IMDb doesn't even tell if Paul Thomas Anderson is onto something right now.
See, I feel like Daniel Day-Lewis needs to lighten up a bit. It's time to. Maybe he needs a comedy or something.
Oh wait, what? Okay. I think that wasn't there a few days ago. I just looked at Paul Thomas Anderson's page, and it says untitled Paul Thomas Anderson Project 2020.
Oh,
Set
yeah?
in 1970s San Fernando Valley, the film follows a high school student who's also a successful child actor. That sounds like Tarantino. Kinda.
Sounds riveting.
Like 70s. I always like period pieces, when it's not our time.
Yeah, I have an affinity for the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So even the 70s a little bit to an extent, but if they nail the set pieces right, like Once Upon a Time, The Nice Guys, they have to have
Boogie
the good
Nights.
set. Even Zodiac had good set pieces too, but Boogie Nights is a great one too.
Like for me, I feel like Anderson's filmography is flawless, so I have no doubt this movie is gonna be fun or good. At least
Flawless, even with the Phantom Thread.
it's not a bad movie,
Okay.
objectively. It's just kind of not my type of movie, but it proves that Anderson can do more than just one kind of film. Because
Sitting
like
on a
Inherent Vice
7.
and Nights feel kind of a bit like I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm kind of indifferent on the Master as well. I kind of want to know what you think about the Master. Because the Master is one of those movies I think could have been great.
But it's not.
It's just weird, dude. I mean, you got to see it. You got to see it for me to go into it. But it's loosely based. It's pretty much based on L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of irritating because I'd rather just have a goddamn fucking Scientology L. Ron Hubbard. Just go all in if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that's the frustrating part. But you can't take away from how good the performances are in the movie.
I heard it's Phoenix's best performance.
It's pretty fucking good, man. It's pretty fucking good. I think I brought it up when I talked about Joker too. It's like you got to bring up that role because I don't think a lot of people bring up that role in The Master.
I don't think a lot of people have seen The Master.
Yeah, but I think also Joaquin Phoenix is I think he was kind of blacklisted a little bit there for a while because of his whole rap fucking faux thing that he did for a couple years.
Yeah.
And then he kind of came back because I was like, it was like Walk the Line, and then he did this weird fucking thing, for like 2 years, and it was really strange. And then he kind of came back with these other roles. Her as well. He got some acclaim for Her. Her is a frustrating movie for me as well. I don't really like Her that much.
I have not seen it.
But he's good in it. But it's just like, it just kind of is like, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Honestly, dude, Phoenix, I think he's also a 10 out of 10 actor. I think he's one of the best.
Yeah, I agree.
But you said that like you didn't like that they didn't mention like L. Ron Hubbard outright, but Boogie Nights is also like based on John Holmes, but it's Dirk Diggler,
Right. You're right. I'll give you that. But I feel like Boogie Nights nailed it more than The Master. I feel like with The Master, I wanted more of that weird shit because they kind of get into it a little bit. And when you're watching it, if you're familiar with Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard, like you will see it right away. You're like, holy shit, this is L. Ron Hubbard. So I could see why Scientologists were fucking pissed But
it would have been fun if Tom Cruise was in the lead,
oh yeah. I still can't. It still boggles my mind that it's just such a weird thing. Scientology, fascinating.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
but I don't know. I'm never probably doing any research on that. I just don't care.
If you get a chance,
with it,
But if you get a chance, there's a great documentary from HBO called Going Clear. If you ever get a chance, watch that. It's about Scientology. It's probably the best documentary on Scientology. It's fucking weird, dude. Okay? Like, for me, it's fascinating because I see these actors and I'm like, these are smart people. These are smart people. But you got to watch Going Clear, at least for the scenes with Paul Haggis, the director. When he talks about, like, when he finds out what Scientology really is, because he was all in for, like, decades. And then he walked away. That shit's awesome. I highly recommend Going Clear, man.
Okay.
That is one of those documentaries. I mean, I could watch shit about Scientology any day of the week. I love that shit.
Yeah. Oh, but Tom Cruise is shown in it.
Yeah.
Do I want to ruin my opinion?
It doesn't ruin it. It doesn't ruin it because I still like Tom Cruise. It's just weird to me that this guy seems like a very smart guy, but he believes in this weird shit. Like, for me, it's just weird because it's like, this guy, I go back to L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard is a fucking strange dude. And he wrote a lot of fucking trash science fiction. And all these people just follow him. It's fucking little culty.
All right, we're hitting the 2-hour mark. Do we want to choose a movie for next time or just do actors rating?
Actors rating might be fun, especially if you got a fucking list of 50 of them. We might as well.
I mean, I would do that anyway, but maybe we could still agree on a movie.
Yeah, I don't have a movie off the top of my head right now. But
if you find anything on Netflix, then just tell me.
Netflix seems to be good for you right now.
Yeah, because we are both able to watch all the Netflix originals,
Right.
If you I'm not able to watch every movie.
So those aren't region locked. The originals aren't region locked.
No.
Well, that's good to know, though. I would say War Machine, but I don't really want to. I don't think I'm gonna watch that soon.
Yeah, I'm not super.
It's not a draw, right?
No.
Yeah, me neither. There was that couple movies, The Siege at Yadditsville.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to watch that at some point. Yeah, it's another war movie. Sandcastle, another war movie. There's a lot of fucking war movies on on Netflix.
There is, yeah. Huh. Have you seen Triple Frontier?
I started it, but I didn't finish it. It was one of those movies where I sat down to watch it, and then something happened, like in real life, and I had to get up.
What about Outlaw King? Because then we have a direct comparison to The King.
I'll do that because I'm kind of wanting to watch that. That's perfect for me.
And I've been wanting to rewatch it, so I think that's a good choice.
All right. So we go from The King to Outlaw King. England to Scotland, baby. That's how we do it.
Yeah, but still with evil Englishmen. All right.
Well, have a good day, Mr.
2 hours. Yeah, you too.
Thank you for coming, man.
Of course.
All right. Have a good day. I'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the movie show, The Stairway to Cinnamon Bun. The Stairway to Cinnamon Bun. That will do it. That will do it for today. That'll do it for today. Shout out to Mr. Almond for doing that show with me. It was fun. It was fun today. So we'll catch you guys next week for the Outlaw King. Have a good day. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your goddamn weekend. It'll be fun.